So I got on the Lifeboat Survival server and started trapping people who were much stronger and stacked me in order to build my way up to dominate the entire server. Little did I know that while I was doing this, I would actually be able to ban the leader from a hacker group that was terrorizing the server not once, but twice. Here's how it went. Also, I just made a brand new Discord server that you should definitely go and check out. The link will be in the description. Now let's get on to the video. So I was just playing some Lifeboat Survival server with some friends and I was going pretty smooth until I was confronted by some stacked players that decided to team up against me. Now in a 2v1 with my iron gear, I was clearly set to lose, but not accepting my fate about me getting destroyed like your average Twitter user, I ran almost instantly. I then built up a decent sized cobble tower and platform and waited for them to come attack me, figuring that they would eventually catch up to me if I kept running away with my kindergarten level parkour. Alright, here they come. I'm gonna extend my platform. What if I just throw an egg at him?
Can I offer you a nice egg in this trying time?
Boom.
Bruh.
In the end, I managed to ward them off with a single egg, but then this got me thinking, if they kept attacking, I likely would have won and became rich despite them being stronger than me. So what if I trapped players stronger than me in order to become the strongest player in the server? After this encounter, I set off and looked for an ideal place to build my trap to lure people. The most important part about this trap was to spank the sheep's booty. I had to spank it. After building some tunnels for my trap, there were so many people nearby, and if they discovered my trap too early, I would risk losing all my progress. Honestly, I had no idea why they were here. Honestly, I had this random dude just mining here and a duo right outside. Nope, I'm not dealing with that. Here we go, baby. You know I'm here. Die, 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 die. Oh shit, this guy's, oh yeah. This guy literally fell to his death. Oh, he has diamonds too. Let's go, baby. Nice. Now that they were gone, I was able to finish my trap's design. My trap's plan was simple. I would use alternating blocks and obsidian and make it harder to get out of the trap. Also using buttons to prevent them from building and dirt to make it easy to sleep underneath them. Then killing them before they could escape. After I had finished building my trap, I crafted a diamond sword and looked for the players from earlier. But there was one problem. The players I was looking for had already left the game while I was making the trap, so that means that I spent the next 20 minutes looking for no one. While I was looking for no one for 20 minutes, I traveled across the map pretty much just killing players and AFKs and grabbing their loot. Some people even tried to challenge me despite knowing they'd lose, and I went back to the area of my trap to see if the stacked players were there. Until I encountered this Minecraft couple. I tried using eggs to get their attention, and once I did, they weren't convinced enough to 2v1 me. But this guy from this other duo was willing to go all in even after I was leaving. And yeah, it wasn't even close. But he did have a diamond, which was pretty nice. On my travels, I encountered this person hiding in the ground. And after I killed them, it seemed like they were trying to trap people with this weird contraption. I don't know, but I don't think they finished. I also found a tombstone, made some friends with the trapper, killed some more noobs, and encountered a rare pink sheep. There's nothing interesting happening in the server, and wanting to start from scratch since the server was restarting in a few hours, I decided to call it a night. The server restarted and I was off to a good start. Again, I got some stone tools, set my spawn point, and I don't know what I was doing. I ran into these guys which turned out they were part of a hacker group. I decided to give them their space, but realizing this was not an option, I built another tower again. Only this time it would be different. Mans literally clipped through the blocks just to spank my booty with a shovel. I did try to run away once he spanked my booty with the shovel again, but luckily I had set my spawn point nearby, so I tried to get him to go away. I didn't realize how much this guy was hacking until after I was editing the footage. Nice speed, bro. I got some of my stuff back and tried to kill him by comboing him to the moon, but I was pretty much dead in 2 hits. Also, this guy should have been in the Olympics. I didn't stand a chance after several attempts to try and kill him. He was gone faster than my father was. I then came up with the best insult in the universe, to which he replied with, Me, personally, I was not going to just let that slide. So I traveled to this inconspicuous looking cave and started tunneling. I forgot this was a big huge mountain, so I had to build some alternative exit tunnels so I can escape, in case my trap doesn't work for some reason. Trust me bro, I do this better off camera. I forgot they didn't have any obsidian, so I went out to look for some. Fortunately for me, this first guy I encountered actually had a good amount of obsidian that I needed for the trap. But I had to unfortunately kill the poor guy for it. But thanks for the obsidian, I guess. But on my way back, the leader of the hacker group named Sophia came by and swiftly killed me. I managed to set my spawn point just in time before I died though. Once they had realized this, they immediately bolted off to where Milk probably is, which in this case was about 100 blocks away in about 2 seconds. I was quite frustrated having encountered 2 hackers within the span of 5 minutes, and I tried calling them out for hacking. But it didn't matter to them since they sped off again, not caring that I clearly saw them. Come on, bro, what are you doing? Not being phased any longer about it, I quickly grabbed all my stuff and went back to where my trap was. Oh, and this is how my trap is supposed to look like without Fulbright. I built ladders to easily navigate, also mined out a large area with enough room for me to move around and store items from my victims rather quickly after they die. There wasn't anyone posting threats nearby, and there wasn't really anyone there, so it was rather a smooth and peaceful process for me to build this trap. I placed the finishing touches, stored non-important items, set my spawn point, and looked for my first victims. First target on the board was this Minecraft duo. I hit their weak teammate in order to get the attention of the stronger player, which definitely worked. I turned around and made sure that they were following me, which a hit confirmed that they were. I spearmined my way into the tunnel, fearing that they were right behind me, and I placed some blocks to make sure that they weren't too close behind. I placed a bit too many blocks, and it turns out it was actually a trio. I had to mine some blocks to help them bust through, but I almost died. But my trap definitely worked. Almost too well. I quickly fell into the compartments and, well... I didn't. My plan was definitely working. After getting this guy's good gear, this guy wasn't too happy about the news. I was looking for a stronger player trap, but Lifeboat servers just ain't it, bro. We got like random hitboxes everywhere. I saw this dude being chased, so I decided I'd be a hero and save him. I found the stronger player I was looking for and started following him, but the guy I saved from earlier was just too greedy and tried to kill me. Once the stronger player and I locked eyes, I knew he was going to accept the challenge. I ran back to my trap that was nearby, but the trap just wouldn't go so well this time. I placed only one block to help stall him a little bit, but I don't know how, but he didn't fall in the blocks where they were mined. I don't know if it was lag, but I was cornered, and since he had landed the first hit, I lost the fight. To make matters worse, the dumb server didn't save my spawn point. I was so mad, bro, you don't even know. I traveled a few hundred blocks back to my trap and got some weapons and set my spawn point again, but it was no use. I mean, I pretty much lost the fight, and after I respawned and got back, he already left the game with all my stuff. I saw this random dude nearby and decided to take my anger out on this guy and take a break. Yo guys, so I did some off-camera mining and yeah. After getting absolutely stonked with all my diamonds, I mined my way out of the mines and also got myself a lava bucket. I also wanted to smelt the gold I got just to make golden apples, just in case for emergencies. After waiting for those to smelt, I also wanted to assert my dominance, so after I dug my way to the surface, I found this base. But I also found this YouTuber and his friend heading my way, and I didn't want to deal with them. Also ran into Smite Master 4316 and tried to finish him off with a lava bucket kill, but this guy wouldn't let me, and then I proceeded to chase him down half the entire map trying to kill him. I eventually gave up on the idea of a lava bucket kill since it was just taking too long. Also, while I was chasing this guy, some people followed me, so I just killed them as well. I went back to the base from earlier and killed them just to assert my dominance some more. It was pretty pointless, but I also burned their stuff. Yeah, looking back at it, I kind of feel bad, not gonna lie. Also, this guy didn't like it. The YouTube guys were back and I tried to run away. Then I just hid from them since I could. While I was looking for the hacker group from earlier, I stumbled upon this big Halloween castle. There was only one person calling it their base, and it wasn't a fair fight. Sorry, bro. I was going to burn their stuff, but they swooped in before I could get the bucket ready. But it didn't matter because I killed them a few more times and they left after I burned their stuff. But then the YouTube guys found me again, so I just had to kill them because I just didn't want them to follow me. His poor friend was just trying to spawn in, but he died immediately. I found the other group, and it turns out they were teaming up with this AJ guy that left the game while they were trying to escape my trap. So I was trying to spawn kill him, but this dude just wouldn't leave me alone. Yo, there he is, man. There's the AJ guy. Gotta get him. I was building a chamber, but he continued to hit me. Eventually, I just started killing him on sight, and I just told him straight up that he was not going to win. Bro, just leave me alone. Boom, baby. I even tried to build up so that they would just go away, but he brought his buddy over just to try and get me. I don't know how he hit me, but I just couldn't hit him, and he eventually got me decently good after I fell off, so I just gappled up to be safe. I proceeded to 3v1 them until in-game sunset when they all came up like just with more gear, and it's just, man. One of them had flint and steel, so I just used it to burn their items since my lava bucket was already used and I just didn't want to fight them anymore. They still kept trying to fight me even after I ran away. Egg. One of them tried to friend me and I spared them, going my own way, but they still kept following me, so I just had to kill them all and made sure to lose them. But before I could lose all of them, AJ caught up to me and gave me a good border combo and ran off. But little did I know that they would call him their greatest ally. Straight off the bat, the hacker Sophia was flexing their hacks over their fully stacked target, aka me. I knew that if I could land some hits, they likely would respawn somewhere else, but me, being the merciful, amazing guy I am, I warned them that I was recording. I understand that they primarily spoke Spanish, but they did brag in response about how much people tell him that and that he's yet to get banned and whatnot. And I was genuinely mad. Some of Sophia's hacker friends tried spawning on me to slow down my response to kill Sophia and even broadcasting that he was going to kill a full diamond player and get their loot, aka me again. I was running away to avoid them spawning on me when I do kill him, which I did, but at this time he was going to ask help from his stacked friend Mutan so that they could get 2v1 me and get my diamond gear to further terrorize the server. Not wanting to allow the server to take pride in my death and getting full diamond gear, I used clear footage to show that they were using blatant hacks. I got a whole 5 minutes of footage of this hacker. No, I was not about to deal with that, so I just left the game to get Sophia banned. So I reported the evidence to the Discord mods in the Lifeboat server. Shout out to these guys. These guys are really helpful. You guys can go ahead and just pause the video and whatever. But in the end, I did manage to enchant my gear. And after banning Sophia's ult, I did not see the entire hacker group on the server the whole week. Moral of the story, guys, it doesn't end well for the hackers. But maybe next time I see a hacker, I'll instead list them in the army.